Under the previous order, the leadership time is reserved. Morning business is closed. Under the previous order, the Senate will resume consideration of the motion to proceed on H.R. 7148, which the clerk will report.
Motion to proceed to calendar 302, H.R. 7148, an act making further consolidated appropriations for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2026, and for other purposes.
Mr. President.
Senator from Iowa.
Thank you, Mr. President. January is National Trafficking and Modern Slavery Prevention Month. For that reason, the senior senator from Nevada and I are introducing a resolution to raise awareness and honor the victims. Every day, victims are trafficked across the world. Each person has a role to play and ought to be vigilant in preventing the vulnerable from becoming victims of trafficking. As chairman of the Judiciary Committee, I'll continue to support legislation like the Working Family Tax Cut Law to give law enforcement all the resources it needs to protect people from the scourge of human trafficking. I'll also continue to push legislation like the Senate passed Preventing Child Trafficking Act, which would ensure our federal agency take needed steps to protect in a more better way potential victims. So today, please join me in raising awareness. And to those who may be victims, please know that there are resources available to you. If you're in Iowa, please visit stophtiowa.org, or anytime and anywhere you can text HELP, H-L-P obviously, HELP to 233-733. I thank the senator from Nevada for joining me in this effort. I yield the floor. Suggest the absence of a quorum.
Clerk, call the roll.
Ms. Alsobrooks.
Quorum call be suspended.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, there's almost nothing parents won't do for their children. From the moment they hand you that little bundle, your whole life becomes about giving them a better life, ensuring that they have every opportunity that you can give them, and setting them up for success. Most often, that starts with a good education. So last year, Republicans set out to support parents and empower them to make the choices they believe are right for their children's future. Mr. President, for decades now, the 529 Savings Plan has been a powerful tool for parents to save for their kids' education. At first, 529s could only be used for college. But in 2017, Republicans expanded the eligible uses of 529 plans to include K through 12 expenses as well. And in last year's Working Families Tax Cuts, Republicans again expanded 529 plans to include a number of education investments: tutoring, vocational education, homeschool materials, and continuing education. And on top of that, we doubled the amount that you can spend from your 529 account to $20,000 a year. These reforms will help more Americans find success, whether they need a little help getting through algebra or want to pursue a career in the trades. Mr. President, as we mark School Choice Week this week, I also want to note how the Working Families Tax Cut supports scholarships for students who attend the school that best suits them. I'm a proud product of public schools, the son of two public school educators, and both of our daughters graduated from our local high school. Students can get a great education at their public school, and they're a point of pride for many communities. But I also understand that some parents would like to send their child to a school outside of their district, or to a non-public school, or choose to homeschool. My home state has been a leader in offering open enrollment, which allows students to go to the public school of their choice, even if it's not the school closest to home, or to enroll in another school district altogether. South Dakota gets it. But I'm not surprised that we were one of the first states to opt into the scholarship initiative created in the Working Families Tax Cuts, which encourages private support for scholarships that help students cover a variety of education expenses and enable them to take advantage of the type of educational freedom that South Dakotans have long enjoyed. And I'm glad to see that more than 20 states have already pledged to participate in this important initiative to encourage donations to K-12 scholarship funds. Mr. President, our bill doesn't stop there. The Working Families Tax Cuts provided additional funding for Pell Grants and created the Workforce Pell Grant program, which will support students pursuing shorter-term job training programs that prepare them for in-demand skilled jobs. And then there are our actions tackling the high cost of college degrees. Mr. President, the cost of a college education is out of control. And research suggests that a number of degree programs now have a negative return on investment. The answer isn't throwing more federal dollars at the problem. It's putting downward pressure on tuition and holding schools accountable for the value of the education they provide. And that's what Republicans did last year. We implemented accountability measures to rein in high costs. We also streamlined student loan repayment programs, simplifying the process and providing much-needed clarity to folks repaying their loans. And we ensured that graduates won't have to pay taxes on tuition assistance from their employer, a measure that I introduced and that this bill makes permanent. Mr. President, the education provisions in the Working Families Tax Cuts gives the next generation more opportunities to get ahead and succeed. But before I close, I want to talk about another part of this bill that sets America's next generation up for success, and that's the new Trump accounts. These new investment accounts provide parents with another vehicle to save for their children's future, to invest that money and let it grow over the years. And when those children turn 18, that money, thousands or tens of thousands of dollars,